Arnold Schwarzenegger is the governor of California. There's a perfectly ordinary English sentence. How did that happen? Do you know how that happened? Because I'll tell you. You know how he got into that position? He got there by lifting things. Now you and me, we avoid lifting things. It's unpleasant. Especially heavy things. Even a 5-year-old child knows this. They go, huh? No, fuck it, no. I'm going to put Lego up my arse. I'm not doing that, no. He took a different approach. He lifted the heavy, and you know, you lift something when you have to. Piano falls on Granny. You lift the piano. Because Granny has mixed feelings about the whole situation. Sunday lunch continues. He didn't do any of that. He went right over to the heavy thing and lifted it and put it back down and didn't move it anywhere. And then he lifted it again, hundreds of times, and said to the people who had stopped to observe this aberrant behavior, "Look how good I am at lifting the heavy thing in my underpants." Now that sounds a little dim. But it was they who said, "You're the man. You're the one we want to deal with immigration and water rates and taxes and all that kind of shit." Now, wait. What we need to know is, how bad was his predecessor at that job? You know, this must have been somebody who came to work covered in children's blood every morning. He drives one of these vehicles, you know these things, they're called Hummers, you know? It's like a big four-wheel drive thing. Huge. How small does your cock have to be to make you walk into a car showroom and say, "Listen, I need something the size of a school so people know I'm around"? As if driving wasn't already aggressive enough. You see people behind the wheels of these things. They change, you know, in those big built-up vehicles. You have them here in London, you know, because it's difficult. Obviously, the coffee is on one side of the street and you have to get your newspaper from the other. It's tough, I know. And people change to get behind the wheel of those things. They lose the ability to distinguish between an empty packet of crisps and your children. And then, you know, there's the extreme version of that idea of escape. People think they'll emigrate, and that's it. The new life will be somewhere else, much better than here. I can't take it anymore. And where would you go? People fling themselves all over the planet. People end up in Australia. Why would anybody want to go there? What is the point of that country? I usually never leave the house, but we all went to Australia recently. The whole family. It was a ridiculous place. Located 3/4 of a mile from the surface of the sun. People audibly crackling as they walk past you on the street. That's why they all barbecue. You don't need to cook somewhere like that. You just bring the shit out, fling it on a grill, and it bursts into flames. It's not supposed to be inhabited, and when they're not doing that, frying themselves outside, they all fling themselves into the sea, which is inhabited almost exclusively by things designed to kill you. Sharks, jellyfish, swimming knives, they're all in there. The thing is, English people are very bigoted, though, I find. I say that as a neutral Irish person. You know, Ireland wasn't involved in the war at all. Ireland's reaction in the war was to go, "What? There's a what on? Sorry, what? I'm not dressed. What is it? What? You want a what? You need to, what? What is it? A war? Oh, it's all over. Is it? Oh, we'll go. Yeah, what do you want?" And not very useful. But English people are quite prejudiced, I think. Because I've noticed this recently, because I have lots of English friends who are very dear to me, and I realized recently, when you're talking to an English person and you're from elsewhere, they share with you. They do a lovely thing when they're talking to you. They impersonate you as they're talking to you. Somebody says to me, "Do you want another drink then?" You know, in that English voice that suggests they're just about to die at any moment. "Do you want another drink?" "I would. I'd love another drink. That'd be great. That'd be grand. Thank you." They do you. They go, oh, would you? That'd be great, that'd be lovely. What the fuck are you doing? Laughing, it's just funny because you're Irish and that, you know. Because that's still how Irish people are seen, as twinkly-eyed fuckers with a pig under their arm, high-stepping it around the world, going, I'll paint your house now, but watch out, I might steal the ladder. Ho, 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 ho. Which is only half true. The thing is, though, that Irish people are just far more emotional. We include emotion in our culture. You're talking to an English person, you don't know if they've recently died or just got married. Because of that English smile. Hello, hello. Looks like you have a rotten oyster under your tongue. Hello, good morning, don't touch me, stay away. How are you? Hello. And either that, or when emotion does appear, it's violent. They come and play football with you and rip the shit out of the stadium and eat the chairs. Whereas somewhere like Ireland, it's more hot-blooded, there's drama included in the fabric of every day. It's there every moment. People wake up going, oh God! What time is it? It's 6 minutes to 9. Is it? I thought it was only 7 minutes to. We're all fucked. What's the weather like? Don't tell me, I can't bear to hear, I'll look myself. Ah! It's fierce mild. What are we having for breakfast? Are you going to do that thing again with the bread where you put it in the box and burn it? Whose trousers are these? Come on, we'll both try them at once and see who wins. It's just much more emotional at all times, for no real reason. And I think sometimes I'd love to be like you, cool and calm and unemotional, Protestant in short. The new world is America. People think that's got a lot of promise. Still, even though we're all a bit funny about Americans now, a bit, I think the reason that happened, all that bad feeling about America, is apart from everything that they've done. It's because American stupid people sound stupider than every other kind of stupid person. Some people are just thick, but you put up with them. But Americans are annoying when they're thick, because they say, well, you know, if they're talking about one of those terrible incidents that happen every other day in America, they say, well, you know, I was there, and the guy came in, and he had, like, a gun, you know, and he was, like, shooting, and everybody else was totally dead. And you just, it sounds a little divorced from reality somehow. So I think that's why there's this ill feeling about the place sometimes, because of everything the administration has done. You know, it's like the really bad flatmate of the world. Oh, sorry, did I break all your shit? I didn't know it was yours. Yeah, I'll replace it sometime. With my stuff. And because it's the only remaining empire, of course. You had an empire once. Britain had a great empire. And impressively commandeered and sequestered from the rest of the world. With great style. You just marched in and said, you and you, fuck off, we're having tiffin. And everybody sort of went, oh, right, I'm going to be off now, that's fine. And it took centuries for people to go, hang on a minute, we live here. The American style is totally different, far more insidious. This empire is run on a totally different basis. What America does is it has a nosy in some place, some war-torn, fucked-up place, and that looks for oil or chocolate or whatever it wants. And all the indigenous people obviously get pissed off, and they begin to meet. They begin to foment. They ring each other up and say, you, Habuwa, let's meet and foment at 6 o'clock. In the local bombed-out cafe, they gather round and they say, what are we I'm doing a pan-global accent, okay? It saves time, because America gets around a lot of places. And this represents poverty. Hey, listen. Hey. Haguga, listen. What are we going to do about the fucking imperialistic Yankee big dog, huh? What are we going to do? They come in here, they look around, they take our stuff. What are we going to... I'm talking to you. Put down the beans. Listen, what are we going to do? It's kind of Al Pacino from China via Brooklyn. But the, And then what America does, while these people are talking, it very, very gradually builds a Starbucks around them. And then they all become addicted to latte and they lose the will to rebel. And then they turn into Americans. After a couple of weeks, the kind of people who come up to me and say, "Hi, I'm Irish. My grandmother was an O'Flaherty, did you know her?" I always say, yes, I did. But then again, everybody did. Now that's a particular kind of American, obviously, the kind of Americans you see in Europe, who often, for some reason, seem to be very generously proportioned. And you see them in museums, blocking up the exhibits, going, "What is this? Can we eat it? Where are we? Can we pee? Where are we?" And yet, when you go to America, you see that it's a very, very, because it's so competitive and everything, people are ultra-fashionable and very thin, really. I think the Americans you see in Europe are all the ones who stay in their apartments, get food piped in, and then they're just shipped out to Europe. But the ones over there, you see these amazing-looking people. They don't look real at all, these incredibly exiguous women. You know those people who look like they can't support the weight of their own teeth in their head? Stalking in and out of fashionable restaurants. I don't know what they do in there. Maybe they just rub pesto on their legs or something. And you know, they look like they weigh as much as a photograph of themselves. And sometimes, you know, you might take it for granted, you see. You might get this notion that there's a better life for you elsewhere, because that's what happens to people. They get stressed out somewhere like this. They think, you know, we should, I don't know, go to the country. Somewhere shire. It's a very bad idea. I grew up in the country. You don't want to go there. You've got everything here. You're not going to realize your dreams somewhere else. You can do it all here. You can be trapped in traffic in Tufnell Park for 20 years and you'll never have that experience anywhere else. You don't want to go to the country anyway. Most of you know nothing about it. You talk about it all the time, you read about it in Sunday supplements, you're never going to go. Why would you go? It's a disgusting place. It's always wet, even when it's dry. And there's nothing there. Farmers aren't really people. You know this. They're just necessary. We need somebody to kill cows. Cows are supposed to be killed, en masse as well. I have a certain, very limited sympathy with vegetarians. You know, I don't mind if you're vegetarian because you had an accident or something years ago. You fell down some steps and now you can't chew properly. I don't mind that. But, well, I'm vegetarian on principle stuff is wrong. You're supposed to eat the cows. They're big, lumbering, stupid things. They'd be everywhere if we didn't eat them. In the library and everything. Nobody actually wanted them originally, you know? They were just mid-conversation. They kept getting bumped into by these cretins going, "I couldn't take it anymore. Give me a fucking fork. I'm going to deal with this." What people really want are squirrels, but they're too quick. Don't go to the country. When is the last time you spoke to somebody from the country? Would you ever have a conversation with these people? What did you do today? I had some soup. Oh, for fuck's sake, give me a... Please, give me a cappuccino before I pass out. I need a mugger. I need a healthy injection of cynicism right now. And of course these people are friendly. Of course they are. They talk to you. They haven't spoken to a real person in years. And they bring you into the house and they dry all your clothes even though you're not been in the rain or anything and offer you the local thing. You must try the local stuff. Don't eat it. Do you know why it's local? It's shit. That's why it's local. You eat it, you'll turn into one of them, you go red, you start spouting bigotry and eating tweed with lamb fat dribbling down your chin. Don't go near any of that stuff. People say, "I'm going to go, it'll be great, we'll have a solar panel toilet, we'll get the whole family thatched." Rubbish. And then you get these articles about how unhealthy modern life is in a city. You know, you get mobile phone tumors, far more likely in the city. Well, you know what, so is everything else. Including sex, coffee, and conversation. And the conversations are totally different as well, there. You're sophisticated people, you meet up every 9 months to have a coffee with somebody and bitch about your best friend who's not there. I hate them more than you do. Here they come. "Hi, how are you? Do you want a number cappuccino. And in the countryside, because there's nothing to do, you know what people do there? They go to each other's houses, they come to your house and drink tea all fucking day. They crawl for 12 miles to come and drink tea. Because there's nothing else to do. And what people do there, it has its own kind of native hostility, you know. They bring out all the food in the house and put it in front of that person and say, there, eat that. Because if you don't put on a good spread, you'll be ill-spoken of in the village. So people bring out 19 different kinds of potatoes, sheets of ham, waves of ham. You take a bite out of the middle, you save yourself the price of a poncho. They put it in front of that person, and they say, fucking eat that. And they stay there all day. Eat everything you have, drink everything you have, and they never know when to go. You know, they're not sophisticated. They sit there. You're there 1 o'clock in the morning with the grandfather clock between your pajamaed knees, staring at the motherfucker saying, please, go home. And you end up saying terrible things. Look, we drank everything in the house. I don't think that minicab is coming. I know we had 8 or 9 bottles of wine and half a bottle of whiskey, but I think you should drive. I do. I will personally sellotape your hands to the wheel. Get in the fucking car. Go away from here, please. But, anyway. Now, I meant to talk about something else earlier on, and I forgot what it was. I've remembered what it is again, but I've also forgotten. And that's really what adulthood is like most of the time. You know, you spend a lot of time walking back to the room to get the thing that you left the room so that you would go and use it somewhere else, and on your way back to the room to get the thing, you forget not only what it is, but what room it was in, and you're faced with the people who love you looking at you going, what do you want, why are you here? And you go, I don't know. You spend an awful lot of time like that. And children aren't like that, which is why they look so young, because they always have a sense of style and purpose. When they're walking around, they have a very definite purpose. They're walking and walking, and it's a great walk as well. It's not an adult sort of bemused shuffle. It's that, I'm going over here. You say, why are you going over there? Because I have a harmonica. What are you doing with a harmonica? I'm going to put it in the toilet. And why are you doing that? Enough questions! Goodbye! Because children express themselves. That's how they look young and vibrant and alive, and why we all envy them. The child, you know, the children can be incredibly difficult to understand when you're grown up. You forget that you were a child. Something simple like a child going to bed. You know, you say bedtime, bedtime, bedtime. That's not what the child hears. What the child hears is lie down in the dark. For hours. And don't move. I'm locking the door now. So the child has trouble with that, so of course you make a concession. You read a fairy tale or something, you know, all the wisdom of the world compacted into a little story. And you say there was a little girl lost many, many miles from home, walking through the woods, late at night with the creatures all hooting and howling in the bushes around her, stepping over the roots of trees. And she came to the old sty and began to climb it, but it broke, you see. It broke and she fell down. But then when she got herself up, she was all right, and you could see the lights at home. And she began to walk towards home, and then a thing ate her. Good night. Night-night. You probably sent the child to bed because you were just tired talking to the child, because the child asks you questions. You see, and this is one of the great things about having a child. You look forward to teaching this child about the world and how it works. But the children, they're like children, but they're bigger and they're webbed. They're not really interested in your views on the world. You know, they have their own questions. What is the name of the spaces in between the bits that stick out on a comb? I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, what do you call the place underneath the kettle? I don't know! Bedtime. I mean, it's difficult. Children sleep in your bed. This is part of having children. It's very important for a child's development to sleep in the grown-up's bed because their bones are growing in particular directions. You see, what happens is children are actually very sophisticated. They sleep in your bed for a reason. The child is born, it takes a look around, it thinks, well, this isn't quite what I'd hoped for. These people are idiots. I wouldn't have painted the house like this at all. But I got to make the best of it. So how do I've got to maximize my resources. So the key thing is to stop these people having any more children. So children get urine samples sent through the post and sprinkle it on their beds. They're busy people, they don't have time to pee the beds themselves. And then they crawl into your bed, and because their bones are growing and everything, they can only sleep in certain positions, obviously. The crucifix and the swastika tend to be the most popular. Sometimes a combination of the two. But the thing that really relaxes a child is to have the big toenails lodged squarely in your respective genitalia. That ensures a blissful night's slumber. Then the sexual kidnapping is complete. No touchy-touchy, no kissy-kissy. You two need lots of sleep. I have many questions for tomorrow. Very important. So the young man and the young woman realize eventually that you don't die. You know it's a huge lie. Because the young man knows he's not dead, because he's with the young woman now, and they're in a rented flat, and she's talking about curtains. And he really, really wants to be dead. Because the young woman's been talking about curtains for half an hour, and looks like she means to go on. And she's saying, what do you think? Should we get the purple ones with the really subtle blend into the pink tonalities towards the ends? Or should we get that ones that look like a tree, but it's at night, and you're passing in a car? Which one do you think we should get? What do you really feel? I can't make this decision by myself. What do you really truly feel? And what he really truly feels is, I cannot begin to describe how much I don't care. I didn't know we had windows. Until you brought all this shit up, okay? Stop saying wallpaper, furniture, floor. It's bourgeois. Eat the chicken from my hat. Come on. Now, in a strange way, when you're young, death is on your mind more. You don't think about it. You don't think about anything. You know, I was young once. I remember. You don't think about anything. You're very stupid. Young men in particular are very stupid because they're paralyzed by lust. You spend your time looking at young women, going, ah! Ah! Oh, ah! Please! Please let me help you, please. Take me home. I could hold parts of you while the rest of you gets on with tasks. Please! Come on! Stood in the same street corner for days at a time. Now, I still see them, of course. Sometimes I still stop and stare. But different things go through my mind now, with time passing, you know? I look at them, I go, ah! Ha ha! Give me your kidneys. You're wasting them! Fucking fruit and salad, come on, I need backup here. I'll give you a pair of shoes. So, yes, death. When you're young, you think about it. You don't really think about it, you know. You have the intelligence of raspberry jam, you're not thinking about anything. But it's there as a motive force, making you do things. Go and get a job, go and find a flat. Find somebody else, put them in the flat, make them stay. Get a toaster, go to work, get on the bus, look at your boss, say fuck, sit down, pick up the thing, go blank, scream internally, go home, listen to the radio, look at the other person, think why? Why did this happen? Go to bed, lie awake at night, get up, feel groggy, put the things on your clothes, whatever they're called, go out the door, into work, same thing, same people, again, it's real, it is happening to you. Go home again, sit, radio, dinner, gardening, death. So, the young woman thinks if she can get the right curtains, she can keep death and all attendant problems at bay. But the young man knows that the only way to keep death at bay is to have sex pretty much constantly. Now, because nature's so clever, it makes the couple compromise by giving them children, so they never need to have sex again, and then the children pull the curtains down, so there was nothing to worry about in the first place. So, God doesn't work. Science doesn't work. Consumerism certainly doesn't work. So where do you go? Where do you end up? We end up back with each other. There's nowhere else to go. People, you have a very important early decision to make in your life. Are you going to be alone? Are you going to be with somebody else? Are you going to be sane or not lonely? A couple is a strange thing. It's an organism that's half as intelligent as the most intelligent member. And you both know who that is. Because you've got two people walking around together all the time trying to remember all the different shit they have to lie about to each other. Oh, we're going over here, are we? Oh, good. Are we going to see those people? Terrific. Oh, good. Don't hope it doesn't stop anytime soon. And there's a lot of pressure on you to find the right person. You're told if you don't find the right person, your life is fucked. It's might as well forget the whole thing. You're dead. Which is rubbish. There's billions of you. We're all the fucking same. If it's not him, it'll be her. Or if it's not him, it'll be them. There's billions of people for everybody. There's more than enough. We're very overstocked on ourselves. But it's because we all think we're so fabulous. The first half of your life is all spent getting over yourself anyway. You know, you would think you're amazing, unique. Young people walking around going, you know, the funny thing is, I was just in the kitchen, but now I'm here in the bedroom. Get a load of me. I just go on and on. And that's around the age when you meet somebody else and you're totally unbearable. Two young, fit, healthy, attractive people in love. There's nothing worse to look at in the world. It's going around going, I can't believe I met you because I'm amazing and you're amazing and we're surrounded by shitheads. It's just amazing. Hey, I know this really good bar. Let's go and make it better. In the second half of your life, you realize just how like every other hump who drew breath you really are. Except you're more boring. But that is absolutely true about, you know, people needing to believe in things. And it's a scary thing when you start to believe in politicians. You can't trust them. You see, but we need to believe something. And you're not allowed to believe in religion. Well, you can, but people will laugh at you and throw things. Because it was just sort of decided in the 20th century that religion is basically a formalized panic about death. That's all. I mean, look at the Catholic Church, the campest organization on the planet with the purple robes, gold bits on the side, jewelry so big if they let it fall it will kill people. What else can it be but this sort of ritual of panic about death? Death is coming, quick, put on the gold hat. You see, people never really grow up. I don't mind most religious people. I talk to them, you know. I listen to them banging on. I prayed very hard and then the fairy came. Did he? Good. Have a biscuit. I only get annoyed when they try and make me see the fairy. You have to let the fairy into your heart. Look, I wouldn't let him into my garden, okay? I'd shoot him on sight if he existed, which he doesn't. Now have another bicky and be quiet, will you, please? But you can absolutely understand the desire to believe in something, to support you. You know, I mean, children like to be supervised by adults. You know, that's why children go, look, no hands, or look, I can do this, look, I'm really good at this, whatever it is. Because it validates them, it shows them that they are there, because somebody else is watching over them. Grown-ups are the same. Not that there is any such thing as a grown-up, really. They want to be, you know, the idea of like to be watched by something. You know. Because, I mean, the planet's not going to miss us when we finish fucking it up and killing each other. So we needed the idea of God to have somebody to miss us. Or at least notice that we weren't there anymore, because we've all died out, because we fucked it up. And God could go, look, they're not there. The lizards are doing quite well, though. Good on them.
Our next guest is an award-winning Irish comedian kicking off his first North American theater tour on Friday at the Park West in Chicago as part of the TBS Just for Laughs Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dylan Moran. Dylan?
Hello, I don't appear to have a microphone. Oh no, I'm wearing it. That's it. Sorry, I forgot. Hello. I'm thrown. I'm always thrown by you people. You're very warm, you're very responsive, you're very positive. There's a lot of positivity around in America. A lot of the time it seems to be the minimum you can offer out there is 100%. People go around, they say, I'm giving it 110. 145 on Thursday, and then maybe I'm just going to go all out at the weekend, 200%. Now, that's a lot. In Europe, you know, we give things 14%. Maybe 16 if it's a life-threatening situation, you know? But you're talking about an incubator on fire. And I find when I'm here that it's a little difficult sometimes talking to people. I was in my hotel this morning, I was having a little bowl of muesli, and one of the staff members came over and said, "How is it, sir?" I said, "It's fine, thank you." And then somebody else came over, "How is it?" 8 people asked me. And it felt like I was being punished for not saying, "You know, it's amazing, life-changing muesli. It's incredible. Thank you so much." Because it's muesli, you know, you eat it so you don't die. And it's hard to be healthy with what you eat in this country because you have everything. You have 149 different kinds of everything. This is the country that invented spray cheese. You know, somebody was eating cheese and they said, "I like this. I like it. I like it a lot. But I want it in a mist." So you can get anything here. I mean, the fact is, almost all of the great times in your life were about putting things in your mouth. This begins from birth. Your baby's born, he seeks out the breast. You know, he stays there. He doesn't take calls or arrange meetings or anything. He just stays there and falls asleep until it's time to do some more. And then as a child, you understand the world by putting things in your mouth. You crawl around, you pick up dirt and stones and keys, you put them in your mouth and you go, you know. And then you mature and you become an omnivore. Human beings eat everything. Squid, monkeys, lungs, livers. They do, all over the world. Because you can, so you do it. You stand there in your kitchen, you chew peanuts as you're buttering bread for the next sandwich. It's an out-of-body experience. You're watching yourself thinking, "Oh my God, I'm disgusting, look at me. Look at him. Somebody make him stop. I can't, it's me." And we use food for everything, for a celebration, for consolation. You use it as a reward or a punishment with your children. The child does a drawing of a cow. A good one. And you say, "That's fantastic, have an ice cream." Another child does a drawing of a cow, you say, "Listen, you know, where's the legs? This cow is not going to make it. You have to eat spinach." And we use it for all kinds of things. And the fact is, you know, we have it at weddings, we have it at any kind of big event, even funerals. When you die, people will come around, and you'll be the only person in the room not eating. That's the only diet that actually works. And those people will go home and everybody will say to them, "Hey, how was it? How was the funeral?" And they'll say, "It was fantastic. There was pizza."
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Friday at the Park West in Chicago, Illinois. We'll be right back with Harry Connick Jr. Good to see you again.